Welcome back, everybody, to Yuk Time, episode 10. We made it, everybody. This is a victory.
Oh, shit.
A milestone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
10 whole episodes.
Yuk X.
And you can watch them for free where?
On YouTube.
Wow.
If you're not already. So, this is a very, very special episode because I didn't even know if we were going to get this fucking far.
Yeah.
I wasn't introduced.
Yeah.
I haven't introduced anyone. I never introduced myself. Like, shit. All right. So, I'm John. With me here are Coulter and Tezo, as usual.
I already know, young Rusty.
Young Rusty Shackelford. Today, we are discussing that fucking siren outside the apartment right now that Coulter is making a face at.
Can't really do anything about that.
It is what it is, folks. We live in the greatest city on earth, and I live right next to a goddamn hospital.
NYC, baby.
NYC.
Greatest city in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're sort of watching
No.
Monday Night Football right now.
What's the real greatest city right now in America?
Chicago.
Probably Chicago.
Tezo is a bit biased.
If I see signs in New York City that say Chicago was voted the number one city and you should visit Chicago.
You know what? It's probably something like it's anywhere artists can live, right?
Sure.
So anywhere artists can afford to live. And
Yes.
artists cannot afford to live in New York unless they're
Chicago
like
is
hyper
cheap.
professional shitty.
Because artists are so important, right? Artists are are the ones that make the world go round. If it wasn't for art, we wouldn't have anything to live for.
We'd be in Russia.
I think a lot of why New York is so expensive now.
Well, you like Russia doesn't have art?
I ain't say that.
I've never seen a
going
single
culture.
piece of art from Russia.
No.
No.
Never a single piece.
Just the Russian dials, if you count that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I
Who the fuck is Dostoevsky? No one. That's
don't know who that is.
who. Tolstoy.
Tolstoy?
Yeah.
He's Russian?
Yeah.
I
Stalin.
don't fucking
I think
know.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Whatever.
no,
like
They
I
didn't
give a
hear
shit.
that one.
no. As far as like, I think a lot of why New York's expensive now is because of the whole artist boom in like the '80s, also the '60s too. But especially the '80s.
You
with
blame it all
Basquiat.
on the artists and not on fucking Wall Street.
Not
and
all
the
of it, no.
Bajillionaires that build like
No.
stupid high rises that no one live in.
I feel like it's going to get cheaper.
I just think like New York had like a kind of a vibe where it kind of stood for something if you weren't necessarily the richest person in the world.
Right.
know? And now I have no idea what it stands for, except
Okay.
as a playground for like, hyper billionaires
been
and
that,
shit.
though.
That's about where I'm at with my
When I
assessment.
first came out here in 2012, I'm like, if you rich, this is a rich person's playground.
Right.
This is where
Yeah.
you go to play. You don't live here. You come here to play.
It was already over by then.
But when that's around when we showed up, and that was like when the did we cement the city's downfall?
Yeah.
Our generation's influx of
Nah. It
Yeah.
was, I don't want to say it, but shout out to the China. Shout out to y'all. But it was y'all fault getting that money. They became freer, like lose what they lost. That's who been buying up most of them high rises that's been popping up over by like Ludlow and shit. Like the one on Essex.
Oh, yeah,
over
yeah,
the
yeah,
bridge.
yeah.
Then you go on the west side, them ones over there.
yeah.
They be
I
up and down.
100%
Go to
believe
Long
it.
Island City over there,
That's
but
real
near
shit.
Astoria, they creeping. They all up over. They got the bread. I respect it. They hustling. Like why live in your country when you could live over here? And it's
Yuk
free.
Time is now banned in China.
Yeah.
Shout out to China, man. Taiwan is y'all's. No.
No, my
Fuck that. That's a myth right there. And
I'm just
and
trying to go
on
to
that
China.
subject, on that line of thinking, the topic for this evening is
the
myths.
China connection.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Hey, shout out Max Chinatown.
What,
pack.
heroin?
Oh, that was a
Now,
bad.
on
The
cinema
White
fans, if you
Dragon.
know, you know.
He talk about me.
Shut the fuck up.
You talk about with the British opium and stuff, man. Come on.
Coulter's the one that said China connection. That already implied fucking drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
he had to
not
say it,
doing
though.
anything that wasn't already
He had
suggested.
to say it.
Hey, man, if you're
But
in
yeah, the topic for this evening is modern myths and legends of the 21st and 20th century, if not maybe a little further back than that.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we're sort of,
Some of my favorite things are urban legends. I love urban legends.
Yeah.
T.I.
Mm-hmm. T.I.?
T.I.P. Yep.
T.I.P. What's that?
Urban legend.
An urban legend? What's that about?
His first album.
I don't know that one. Wait, enlighten us.
Go for
The
it.
rapper T.I.'s first album, I believe.
Oh, it's called Urban Legend?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was an urban legend surrounding
Fucking
T.I.'s
hell.
first album.
No.
Okay.
It was just.
That's how white we are, folks.
I don't fucking know T.I.'s discography. You don't need to know,
I wouldn't expect you to.
not knowing I feel like even, yeah,
Fuck T.I.
bullshit.
I said it.
Hey, him and Tiny freaky, so they might let you.
Oh!
Shout out to T.I.
Damn. Shots fired at T.I. and his fucking ass.
We love T.I. T.I.P.
He's pretty tight.
Who's we?
We love T.I. here.
Yeah.
At Yuck Time.
T.I., friend of the show.
Oh, me.
Every town needs to have an urban legend.
Right.
You know?
Okay, dude, from your town, well, is it the urban legend from where you from? Like, not just your town, like, it could be your whole city. We could go your whole
That's
city.
a good one.
Like,
Ooh.
yeah.
So, there are like urban legends.
Right.
There's a couple good ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's one about so there was this guy who would kind of come into town. He would hitchhike into town. He had this big beard, and he was always carrying shopping bags and
A
shit.
guy.
Yeah, and he didn't have a car, and he would hitchhike, but he was very, very like
Was
kind
this
of
someone that you'd see around?
yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Well, not all the time, but like once a week. He's kind of a reclusive guy, but he'd really stick out in this kind of suburban town I was from.
Okay.
And God, I forget what his name was or what his nickname was, but he was just this guy. He was just a dude from this kind of foresty area of my town. Didn't have a car.
Okay.
He needed a car to get into town, so he'd hitchhike, and he was a cool guy. But people would invent stories about him and shit. Just kind of like he's part grizzly bear or something like that. However, we did have like actual
It's a
things happen in my
Unabomber.
hometown
Right.
that were kind of interesting. One of them was there's a famous Rolling Stone article
Right.
about this particular murder
Mm-hmm.
that's called Death of a Cheerleader.
Okay.
And I feel like if you read it, it's not my hometown, it's a town next to mine, but like
Mm-hmm.
if you read about it, you know everything you possibly need to know. Like about like just the vibe and like how people feel in that town and how they are and how they act.
Right.
Everything's in there in that
Okay.
in that 12-page article.
That's very interesting.
And it took place in the 80s, but basically this girl was friends with this cheerleader. She was like, they wanted to be very popular. This girl wanted to be very, very popular. She finally got an in with this girl who was a cheerleader. They seemed to hang out with her because they felt sorry for her. There was some clickiness there. But anyways, so they all tried out for cheerleading squad. And of course the popular girl got in. Everybody got in.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, the cheerleading squad, I think you needed to pay like $500 or something like that. Some exorbitant amount of money, especially for the time, in order to even like try out for it.
Right.
And then you needed to take a class, and it was taken really seriously. Sports in my like high school sports were taken super seriously in my town.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it, Cali.
Yeah, and so anyway, so they were the kind of the cheerleading squad, but the girl who this one girl didn't get in because she didn't look good enough or whatever. She didn't get asked back. And she resented that, and of course the cheerleader girl tried to phase her out or something. And at some point, she stabbed. So the non cheerleader girl stabs this girl to death
Right.
in her front fucking yard, on her front porch.
Okay.
When it's like, so why don't you like me? Why don't you like that kind of
God
thing?
Damn.
And then stabs her to death, and then flees the scene
Yeah.
and gets away with it for a bit.
Well,
I think she even attended her funeral.
don't most murders, like, isn't that a statistic that most people get away with murder? Or
Well,
some
the thing is,
bullshit?
like, this is like a small suburban
nightmare
town.
statistic.
This is a small suburban town where if you hear a fucking blood curdling scream, you're going to go outside and wonder
Yeah.
what the fuck was that,
Right.
right?
Right.
And this happened like at night, but on a lit front porch, and no one saw it. And then the girl fled, and then of course, what happened is the girl, I think, went to her funeral and even said like, it's like, oh, I was a friend of hers. and that kind of shit.
I've seen a few too many true crime videos lately where that's been the case. The murderer just sticks around and sticks their nose into everything after the fact.
Mm-hmm. And there was also and so anyways, what happened was, I think she got interrogated by the cops like 2 or 3 times before they finally realized that she did it. And you could read those interrogation notes, and it's really kind of upsetting because it's like
they probably have it on video.
Like, so you have me for this crime. It's like, yeah, so we're gonna have to it's like, but can I still go to school? And can I still see my friends and shit? Like, she doesn't quite understand, but also she's like asking what's going to happen to her because she knows what's going to happen, but she doesn't want to quite confirm it's real. It's really kind of sad, But anyways, this girl, I think, went to juvenile hall for a bit.
Yeah.
Left the town, changed her identity and shit like that. But
she's about that. She was that young that she went to juvie. I think for fucking murder.
She was like 16. Probably had good lawyers.
Still, like, oh god, that's wild to me.
But
usually, like, if someone's 16, 17, they'll just fucking go for it. Try them as an adult.
I'm going off of memory here.
Yeah.
So don't quote me on this. But you can watch it in a very, very interesting experimental film. You can watch this 2-part experimental true crime documentary film.
Okay.
And one half's about this murder, and then one half is about the other half is about Ed Gein.
All right.
And
let's conflate all these things together.
It's called Landscape Suicide.
Okay.
Which is one of my favorite titles I've ever heard.
Landscape Suicide.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool movie.
Very interesting.
It's for free on YouTube. You can watch it. But anyways, that was one of those things that happened in my town. There was another good one where this actually happened while I was in middle school, and I knew people who knew this guy. He was kind of this weird, like, kind of gothy, sort of like Invader Zimmy sort of dude.
Okay.
Who, I guess with his girlfriend, had some kind of plan to buy weed using this guy's credit card, and then the guy didn't. The guy caught the bill payment, like his neighbor.
Right. Yeah.
And so he decided to go and murder that guy.
Sheesh.
And I guess I remember there was some detail about he carved a pentagram into his back.
Of course.
And then went home and showered and fucked his girlfriend. And anyways, so he got found guilty for that, but there are still people who insist he's not guilty.
Oh, of
over
course.
That.
Of course.
He insists he's not guilty.
Free hat.
Yeah. Free hat. So that guy, so that guy's in prison now.
Sure, good.
But at last I heard that he's actually trying to like create some kind of, he's working with some kind of like private investigator to get free or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. He insists he's not guilty still.
In terms of my own hometown, we didn't have any like mysterious murders or any such happenstance as far as I remember. In terms of kooky characters, we would see this one elderly lady. We would call her the Wellington Witch. I'll happily dox myself. Mm-hmm. Not that this is even where I grew up, but the Wellington Witch was like just this old lady who dress eccentrically. Like if you saw her in New York, you would not even like bat a fucking eyelash at her. Like, she would just wear, like, tall, sort of pointy-ish looking hats and shit and dresses and whatnot. And she would never drive anywhere. She would just walk out and, which is very unusual. No one walks anywhere in Florida, right? Like, everyone fucking hops in their cars and gets wherever they need to go. But that was what was extra weird about her, is that she walked everywhere she went. So, we'd be driving by and point around. It's like, oh, it's the fucking Wellington Witch! Oh! And they, eventually did like an article on her and completely demystified her and shit.
Right.
And it's just, she's just a person.
Yeah, she's just a person.
I mean, like, not that she was even like scary to be like, she just dressed in a particular way, and everyone thought she was so fucking like alien.
She was a witch.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't even a witch. They just call her that because she wore tall ass hats.
Yeah, she was scraggly.
Yeah, she was just like an old little white lady who fucking wore tall hats.
Misunderstood loners really get the brunt of the urban legend.
They really do.
Yeah, they really,
imagine if Bigfoot was just a guy.
Mm-hmm.
A guy who looked like that.
Trying to avoid Texas.
I just remembered when I was a kid, I used to go around, like, I used to hang out with people, and we used to take walks around my town. This was when I was, like, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I used to just start telling stories, like, making urban legends up.
Right.
It's like, there's a guy who lives in the cabin up there in those cow hills. Like, he lives in a cabin if you go into that brush over there.
It's completely...
And, he ate some people. Or, like, I would just tell stories and shit.
Yeah.
And, of course, they'd be like, it's like, you're a bullshitter and all that kind of stuff. And I remember telling one of them, it's like, you're fucking killing the illusion right now, dude. And so when I'm proud of myself.
You're throwing me off my flow.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
No, I would give myself a hug for that because it's like, no, 7-year-old you got urban legends. You understood the point of them, which is that
you understood being a kid, which is
not.
to be a bullshitter and make shit up.
Yeah, but I also understood, like, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's that it's fun.
Exactly.
It's fun to have, like, these kind of spooky stories. It's like telling ghost stories around the campfire. It's a fun thing.
Precisely. Like, I mean, like, we would do that kind of shit when I was a kid. I can't even think of any particular example.
There's some good examples of urban legends that are that turned out to be true, though.
Like what?
At least in part. The Bunny Man turned out to be partially true.
Bunny Man.
Bunny Man, I forget what town. I think it's in, like, the south somewhere.
Okay.
Let me look it up. But anyways, the Bunny Man... So the Bunny Man would linger under bridges, and he was a guy dressed in a bunny suit, and he had an axe, and he would kill you, you know? But it actually turned out to be partially true because somebody had said that there were reports of some guy, like, within 10 days of each other, there was some guy who was brandishing an axe and wearing what appeared to be, like, either a bunny costume or a hood over his head or something.
Okay.
Near that bridge. There's a really good one. Oh, one of my favorite urban legends ever. I could actually speak in detail about is the one of the Green Man.
Green Man.
The Green Man is a
like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, is a Western Pennsylvania legend, and it's a really good one because it's about this man. If you go down the highway, you'll see this man glowing green, and he has a deformed face. It's all fucked up. You can't even see his face. It's so
pretty
fucked
cool.
up. He has no eyes.
All right.
And he's just and he just
glowing
looks like
green,
a monster.
like he got, like, blown up by fucking radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that ended up being true. He wasn't green. That whole part's bullshit.
What was wrong with him?
He was a kid when he touched an electrical main on I think a rail yard,
And he blew his face
and
off.
he just he got, like, electrocuted so fucking bad that he lost his arm, and his face was just
no.
like,
I've seen like injuries like that where they lose their entire face because they get fucked up.
Yeah, and he did, and he survived miraculously, really, but he was blind.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so he would take walks. So he lived with his family, like, in Western Pennsylvania, in, like, maybe, like, West Pittsburgh or something like that.
Sure.
Or outside of there. But he would take walks at night. And so occasionally people would see him along this road. He would make efforts to, like, hide and shit, but occasionally people would see him. And eventually people began seeking him out.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually there are pictures.
Did he become a celebrity like the Wellington Witch?
Yes, he did. He kind of
Like
became a local celebrity, and here's a picture of him.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I've seen that fucking picture.
Yeah,
I've seen that picture. Like that, very very similar to a case where I saw where it was a man working on a power line.
This is what he looked like. His name was Raymond Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyways, so kids would come and, like, hang out, like, chill with him, and come and, like, basically he would, like, allow you to take photos,
right?
If you gave him beer. Some people were cruel to him, actually. Some people were kind of shitty to him.
Yeah.
Some people would, like, pick him up and offer him a ride home, and then they just drop him off in the middle of nowhere, which is really fucking cruel.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah, fucking. Let me see, the Green Man with kid. No, that's not it. What is his name? Raymond Robertson.
Raymond Robertson.
Robinson, rather.
Robinson.
Wait, here's him with a lady.
With a lady.
Yeah, with a lady. But there's this one picture, actually, of him.
You think he was paying
here
for...
it is. The picture of him hanging out with just, like, some friends. And they actually look like friends of mine from high school, but this is, like,
the fuck?
Maybe, like, the late 50s. He's, like, chilling with some friends.
You think he was paying for pussy or they was throwing to him off sympathy? I think he was getting that sympathy pussy.
These thoughts never cross my fucking mind.
I think he was getting that sympathy nurse pussy.
Sympathy
me
nurse pussy.
Are you asking me if he had
me.
sex with teenage kids? Like, what are you talking about? They're teenagers.
He's asking you if
When
he
he
got, if he
became an
got
adult.
pussy at all, and how did he get it?
If your mind went to him at a teenage age, I have questions.
I was thinking
but
you were responding to
I'ma
this
just-
photo of the
I'ma
the
just-
teenagers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that right there, not the first one.
Between this
Keep-
episode and the last episode, Coulter's gonna end up on a fucking list.
Yeah,
Come on,
cut
boys.
this out.
The boys.
No, but like him coming about to asking about like how do you think he got pussy is a great fucking question.
Okay.
I thought he was the man. I thought that was
No,
the
I thought that. Okay, what I thought he was saying was, it's like, are they handing
know
him
what you-
pussy for the pictures? Anyways,
No.
Yes, they like, hey, if you allow me to wait, let me suss this out here for a second. If you let me take a picture with you, I will fuck you?
that's what I thought
is
Tez was
happening?
insinuating. That's what I thought Tez was insinuating.
That's wild.
Like the girls like are willing
I ain't think them girls.
to pay for a
I
photo
ain't think them girls.
with him, and they're willing to pay with sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what Tez was insinuating. However, I don't think that guy ever got pussy in his life.
No,
That
he probably
is-
did.
come on.
I'm telling you, the nurses go for it.
like that would like I mean
I'm sorry to say, I would wager that he probably never had sex, but that's not to say he didn't have a good life.
okay.
Apparently, he was a
I
leather
bet
worker.
you some girl got that man.
I mean if baby alien can get pussy,
That's what I'm saying.
then I think that, anyone could get pussy.
You'll be surprised what
Now,
these.
that's a modern legend right there, is baby alien.
You'll be surprised what these freaky nurses be doing at these nursing homes
Yeah.
late in the night.
Right. Maybe. I mean, listen, I hope he got pussy. If that's what
From
he
the
wanted,
hottest woman
I
you've
just-
ever seen in
look,
your life.
I just hope he had the opportunity to.
yeah, I hope he did too.
Yeah.
I really do. In fact, I think it would be really cool to make like a little hangout movie
Or bussy.
based around this guy.
Yeah.
He gets to, like, basically he's walking down the street, How would it start, right?
A fucking sex comedy about Raymond.
He's walking down this wooden
Robinson.
street,
Yeah.
this wooded street, and he's from the back, so we have a tracking shot. I don't know how he breathed, but he's walking around. He probably has a walking stick,
Mm-hmm.
and he fucking and anyway, so when cars pass, he kind of ducks into the bushes a little bit, but he's
Okay.
blind, so he doesn't know how fucking far in he is. So a woman passing just sees him, and it's like terrifying. It's like,
Right.
fuck, and she calls the fucking police. Like, I just saw this fucking horrible face. It's like, that's Raymond.
Yeah.
He's all good. And then we start following Raymond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, he might get into some trouble with some belligerent townsperson.
Does he Mr. Magoo his way into pussy?
You know what? That could be a part of it.
Hell yeah.
But he hangs out with some fucking, he hangs out with some dudes.
I love this
who bring him
movie
around
idea.
and shit.
It's like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, just with a guy with no face.
Yeah, and they kind of bring him around. It's like, yo, Ray, and they bring him around, and like, just imagine him like them doing donuts in their fucking Chevrolet car.
Good.
And
yeah.
he's fucking like, it's like, I like to breathe. Like, yeah, that'd be sick, right?
That's a great film.
Yeah.
I love it. It already won the Oscar for best screenplay.
I think it would win. Yeah, I think it would win a million awards.
Yeah, it won all the Golden Globes.
I think it'd be a sick movie. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tez, did you have any? Chicago must have a lot of urban legends.
Hell yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like
My
what?
dad to me was like a urban legend. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Your
I
own-
ain't really. He
your own
wasn't.
father.
Yeah, I knew him. Like, all right. So when I'm for like my early memories with my dad, like the first time I ever held a gun, I think I told this story before. First time I ever held a gun, it was like a big ass Glock. Like first time I ever held that bitch, I was like maybe 2-3 years old.
Right.
Okay.
So, and I knew what my dad was, big folks, big GD, So I knew, what life ahead of me. So to me, that was an urban. I would hear from my like older cousins and like I ain't had uncles like that, but I had aunties and hella cousins would tell me stories about him in the streets.
Yeah.
Then my mama like had stories about how when she was pregnant with me, she had like my sister like how he would like the Latin Kings would shoot at him because he had like an old school like type Chevy. And, like that's why she like kind of stopped fuck with him. Like it's some other shit, but I ain't gonna get into that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that he was on. He's like some real gang shit. Like he was like that was he was definitely an urban legend. But it's hella like killers or robbers. You got pimps that's urban legends. You got I don't know shit.
You ever had something like Candyman? Like
Candyman was was a fear when it first came, but Cabrini Greens got toned down like shit. What early 2000s, like
I
late
feel like
90s?
the real life Cabrini Green is probably scarier.
I mean, not for me.
Than Candyman ever was.
It depended what nation you gained. Like I said, my dad was GD, so they could go
Depending, yeah.
like certain buildings over there. Like they was under certain law and conduct and order with gangs back then. Like it was a structure and shit with it. So like he could like certain like I would have been cruising over there. Like
Right.
but
Right.
Are
certain places.
Are gang members superstitious?
Yeah,
They are.
hell yeah.
How so?
I mean, cause gang members is all ethnicities. So
Yeah.
they like you got your certain like especially like the Mexican gang members, they got their certain like Spanish traditions or superstitions, like they gotta do certain things. Like they still willing to murder, but like they kill you, they gotta go to like see the priest, do their Hail Marys and shit like that.
Yeah. Catholic.
Certain like but certain people be like just regular superstitions, like you see a black cat, something like don't serve this person if like certain drug deal. You see certain things going on, you're like nah, that look fishy or some shit like that.
Yeah. You got to be parent. You got to be on your toes. I mean.
I remember what's that nigga? Is it I don't know if it's John Wayne Gacy or the other nigga. It's what's his name?
Gacy was in Indiana.
No, Gacy was in Chicago.
It's somebody else too.
I thought both.
At that time.
I think he was in a couple states, but yeah.
The clown nigga.
Yeah, that's John Wayne
that's
Gacy.
his
And then
Gacy.
there was another nigga that was wrecking havoc. He was either Indiana or Wisconsin.
There might have been a couple. Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer.
I think it might have been Dahmer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dahmer was
in
yeah.
Wisconsin, yeah.
All right, yeah. So yeah, they was going crazy in there. Like I remember when we was little, like on the news, they be like, "Watch out for the vans." You hear about like people in like white vans with no windows riding through the hood, like in clown masks and shit. Like Halloween was when it would get reckless. They be like, you can't take candy for certain people. Like they was like, that's when kids go missing. I ain't gonna lie to you. See, like,
Yeah.
Damn.
During Halloween.
hell yeah, because people be maxed up. Then they be giving all type of candy and shit. You don't know. Some people having concoctions. Like we used to go trick or treating in the suburbs because they had to give you the big candy bars. You know.
So that was another like supposed myth, was that like motherfuckers were putting razors in the candy and shit.
Hell yeah, that
for
was
Halloween.
True. Certain places, yeah, that was true.
Oh damn.
Remember it was an anthrax scare one year.
Like you know, if you go on like Snopes or whatever the fuck, they're like, oh yeah, it's all fake. It's like
What the fuck is handing out apples at trick? Like I've never had a single person hand out an apple unless they were like a dick.
well, not even necessarily an apple. Like
taffy
they'll
cupcakes.
stick like razors inside like the Reese's cups or some shit. You know,
Right.
they'll try and do that.
I guess like if you're handing out an apple, they're throwing it into a sack, so you don't want anything that's gonna like, you know, I don't know.
Apples
it's
are
collect
specific.
a bunch of.
I don't know. Like that seems like a very like I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty specific.
I mean, if you do the bobbing for apple, like
Like,
certain,
yeah, you could stick shit in taffy.
like they would have like certain houses will have like Halloween parties where you could like you could still go trick or treating, but you pull up to a crib and they having a party or some shit. Like it used to be lit.
yeah.
Yeah, I loved Halloween parties when I was a kid.
I was watching The Exorcist last night.
Oh, really?
And I scrubbed through the Wikipedia page this morning
It's a damn
just to
good
look
movie.
at the production, you know, notes or whatever. And they have like a section for every single scene practically on that fucking Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
For the production of which, and also a section on, you know, whether or not the movie was cursed, right?
Yeah.
Because there were some mysterious happenings on the set. Like a number of crew members like fucking died just straight up.
Well, that's just 70s filmmaking.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
that's what like at the end of that section it was like, oh yeah, no, like any curse was just fucking William Friedkin going insane and demanding way too much of his crew.
Right.
Believe it.
Yeah.
I think the mother in that movie, she like hurt her
Ellen
neck.
Burstyn.
Yeah, it's in the movie. She like gets
her
she gets
tailbone.
whacked.
Her tailbone.
Yeah, her tailbone or something like that.
She
So,
gets
like,
thrown. Very specifically, it's the shot during the crucifix stabbing,
which is a
scene.
really intense scene.
Very intense scene. It's right after like Reagan shoves her head in her crotch. She throws her back and she flies the fuck across the room.
Yeah.
And she was thrown for real and hurt herself for real.
Yeah.
Which is not
Jackie
something
Chan.
you can do these days.
There's this one line in that scene
Yeah.
or after she like does the head twist, the big funny head twist. Where it's like, I don't know what the fuck. It's like, do you know what she did?
You know what she did, your cunting daughter?
I've never heard the word cunting.
Cunting as a verb.
Before or since.
I know, and it's wonderful.
So
it's
I don't know if that's
so great.
I don't know if that's a British thing or what, but you know.
I feel like it's gotta be.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
They
gotta be.
love that word.
Yeah. But like, that's so, I don't know, I've never heard that word.
Whichever one of the, I mean, like, that wasn't like an after the fact thing in ADR because they had her say that. You know, they had Linda Blair say that on set. So it's like, who the fuck, whose idea was that? There's a British demon in her now.
Well, I don't know if her demon voice was ADR'd. I'm actually not sure.
It had to have been.
Yeah, probably.
Because it was a different actress. It was like a 40-year-old lady who smoked every fucking day of her life.
Yeah.
And sounded like fucking, like, I don't know, Buscemi.
Like the state, I have never seen The Exorcist.
Really? Damn.
Fucking fantastic.
Seen
film.
Scary Movie too, though.
Well, yeah.
It's a good movie. It's a really good horror movie, and I think it's a little overrated.
It's only...
I think it's a little over... But here's the thing about The Exorcist. That movie was such a fucking big deal when it came out.
Yes.
That was such a huge deal. Like, that movie was... There were lines around the block for that fucking movie, and people were, like, talking about how they fainted. And I would believe it because it's a really intense... It has intense moments like that where shit just ramps up super hard. No score a lot of the time. Which I really appreciate.
Even just the hospital scenes where Reagan is getting shit stuck into her neck and she's bleeding and it's uncomfortable and sterile and creepy.
Oh, there's a funny connection.
Yeah.
The guy who's the assistant. Yeah.
I know. I looked at this was on Wikipedia. Yeah.
He's an alleged murderer of gay men who would murder and dismember the bodies. So there's a serial killer. Or maybe an alleged serial killer.
An alleged killer in The Exorcist.
It's one of those things where he only got convicted for one murder, I think.
Yeah.
I think. But
it's a very creepy scene. He's like, oh, you know, I'm just going to put this in your neck now. You're just going to bleed everywhere. Stay still, stay still.
It's really, it is really fucked up. And
you ever see the Mothman Prophecies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
You love it?
I do.
I hate that fucking movie.
It has problems.
Explain.
I'll explain. Have you seen it, Tez?
No.
I was telling him about it earlier. Yeah.
God damn it. God damn
fucking piece of shit.
We gotta watch Mothman Prophecies.
No, but I was telling him about it earlier because he apparently knows who Richard Gere is. Even though
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think I can't name a single movie that I would have seen that Tez would have seen him in. But yeah, that's a Richard Gere joint.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not. It's directed by somebody else who never made a movie again.
You know what I mean? Like, but he's in it.
I forget his name, but I don't think he ever made another movie, which is sad.
That's not true. I think that
it was his first movie. I know that, but anyways, no. The Mothman Prophecies is a flawed but amazing movie.
Right.
That had a lot of really good ideas going for it. Oh, speaking of urban legends.
This is all based, the Mothman.
Based on the funny Mothman.
Movies based on real life events, supposedly, allegedly.
It was me.
Yeah, Coulter's the Mothman. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
He is the star of the film.
I'm a little guy.
I'm going to say Richard Gere was in a lot of Netflix movies.
What?
He was.
Was he?
I just went through his catalog and I've seen at least 4 or 5 films I've seen him in.
There's another
4 or 5?
Hell yeah.
Shocking.
Speaking of urban legends, there's another urban legend involving Richard Gere. Do you know it?
Well, of course. That's, yeah. Then no, this is really funny because I walked past 2 people who were just having dinner the other day, like outside, and having this heated fucking conversation about, well, the fucking gerbil. It's like, blah, blah, blah. Like, these 2 boomers. That's how ingrained in fucking society it is that, like, it's this whole serious thing. But yes, Richard Gere. Apparently, well, the story goes that an actor was rushed into Cedars-Sinai in L.A. one night after a party, complaining about abdominal pain of some description. And the doctors take an X-ray, and they look at each other, and they're like, there's something up this guy's ass. They reach in and pull it out, and it is a living breathing gerbil. Supposedly. I wasn't there.
That
But
thing stank.
this has become part of our culture for always and eternity.
So was the gerbil eating shit?
It was just eating his ass from the inside.
There's apparently people would take a tube and then put a gerbil into it.
There's an Eminem song about this.
Yeah, and then just take out the tube as the gerbil enters their ass, and then apparently the gerbil clawing
Yeah.
on the anal wall is hot somehow.
Sounds painful.
It's a horrible fucking. It's evil, honestly.
Well, no shit. It's animal
Don't let
abuse.
Peter
I
know.
fucking hope nobody ever did that, but I'm sure someone.
The
did.
fact that someone thought it up means that someone had to have done it.
Maybe,
You know?
yeah.
Like, at this point in human history, I feel like everything like that has been done.
Yeah, sure. Let me win.
Anyways, the Mothman movie fucking sucks my ass. We're not talking about it anymore.
No. I want to talk about it more. So,
What did you like about it? I'm very curious.
so there's two urban legends surrounding Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Right. Okay, it's West Virginia, not North Carolina.
Yeah. So, anyways,
It's
the
one of those.
Mothman is he was a moth-like creature who was kind of spotted around that time.
Mm-hmm.
This big black moth-like creature that would show up and then just kind of fly up into the air occasionally.
Yeah.
And around that time,
did the
there was-
Mothman ever really have any like interactions, like physically with people, or did
No.
they ever just see them? Okay.
But there was the story. This might be a total coincidence
Mm-hmm.
or just, a non sequitur, but people seem to associate the Mothman with a character named Indrid Cold, who
Go
showed
on.
up,
This
this
is news
dude,
to me.
and it got really ridiculous with this guy, but this guy apparently, I forget his name, but anyways, this guy apparently ran into this dude named Indrid Cold, who came up to his car window and was smiling in a very creepy way.
Okay.
And apparently he communicated with him telepathically. So he never said a fucking word, and
That's
neither
fun.
did the other guy. But he said, "My name is Indrid Cold. I'm a searcher, and I'm a traveler from another time and space. He might have been a guy from another dimension.
Okay.
He might have been an alien. Oh, wait, no, I think he explained what planet he's from.
He's a character from A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, I think he explained what planet he's from. But anyways,
that?
so he eventually at some point he points to the nearby city, which is like, they're on a hill or something and they're overlooking a city, and he's like, "What's that?
Mm-hmm.
What's that collection of lights?" And he's like, the guy's like, "That's a city. That's this town, whatever. It's Point Pleasant."
Right.
He's like, "Oh, in my world, we call that a gathering." And it's a whole thing, but it got more and more ridiculous as it went on.
Some fucking sci-fi writer's goddamn
He
hobby.
did report this to the police.
Sure.
And then somehow it got into the press. And yeah, Indrid Cold, which is a very cool name.
He said he spoke to me telepathically.
Yeah.
It's fucking Walter Flagg from.
Be not afraid.
I would
From
have
The
smacked
Stand.
dude.
I am
like,
Indrid
nobody
Cold.
did that to you.
Yeah. Indrid Cold's an interesting name, though. I do like that.
Sure.
Yeah. What the fuck is an Indrid?
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba.
Yes, Indrid Cold.
Mm-hmm. But no, I really like that movie because it's
I like that movie because a fucking bridge gets destroyed at the end, and it's fucking awesome. That's really all that movie has going for it, is the fact that it was based on like a real bridge destruction or whatever the fuck. Like the movie wouldn't have like an ending or a climax without that.
No, well, that was the whole point. That the point is that the Mothman was sighted, and then all of a sudden this bridge collapse happened. This is based on a true this is a true fucking story. Goddammit.
Well, my whole thing, the whole thing with the Mothman is that like people would see the Mothman, but then some bad luck shit would happen.
Yeah, but nobody knows if
And
the
it was
Mothman
multiple
was...
different instances of shit, and the bridge thing was just like the biggest that ever happened or whatever.
Well, the bridge thing was a big for this little town.
Yeah,
I think like something like 40, 50 people died.
something like that.
Yeah, it was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Is that funny to you, Tess?
yeah, 40, 50 people dying.
Hilarious.
In
Hell
West
yeah.
Virginia, at least.
Yeah.
Shit.
You gotta find something funny out of it.
You gotta find humor in just the single
And despair.
notion.
You got to find humor in everything, even if there's no use.
I'm gonna make a bunch of noise really quick.
You're fine.
Okay.
But it's an urban legend.
Well, it's
I
actually
mean, the people actually fucking died. I mean, that was
this bridge
real.
collapse did
It's just
happen.
the Mothman association is the legendary part.
They died for a good reason, I guess. Who knows?
yeah.
He's from the
For a
future.
good reason, for us to have a Mothman
no,
movie
'cause injured-
starring Richard Gere.
Injured Cole came from the future, and I guess those 40 people, those 40 people didn't need to be in the future.
There is a Chicago Mothman.
Chicago
I
Mothman.
ain't
Yeah.
heard of him.
Look it up.
Does he live at the top of the Willis Tower?
I don't know.
At the
There's
Richard
been
Gere
some
Museum?
sightings of this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he spreads his wings, which is not apropos of the Mothman.
Is that a euphemism for spreading his ass cheeks open?
Yeah.
Coulter's fucking fit. Like he was not ready for that.
Spread eagle across the block.
By Lon Strickler.
Chicago Mothman.
But anyways, the Mothman prophecies isn't so much about the Mothman. It just the thing about that movie that I really like
Yeah.
is it sets a tone that I haven't really seen in a lot of other movies.
It is a pretty weird, unsettling, creepy
It's
tone.
a creepy fucking tone, right?
I just wasn't happy with the payoff.
and it's consistent with its creepy tone.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, no, the payoff is a little. I feel that's the thing that really, I don't know, that ending.
Like I love that scene where it's just like he fucking sort of comes to. He's in the middle of the woods and he finds the dude he was just talking to dead, right? Like that kind of shit. It's like, oh, I know about the Mothman. Fucking ask me about the Mothman. I know everything about the Mothman.
Or
And
the
then
scene where
fucking dies.
where he talks to injured Cold on the phone.
Yeah,
That scene's fucking creepy.
that's like
as
some
shit.
David Lynch shit.
That was
yeah.
some David Lynch shit. Or the scene where he's looking in the fucking mirror, and it's like it's off timing, and like all of a sudden he's
Right,
like
yeah.
that's like it's like because
It's like Donnie Darko
because it
in a
got
way.
set up before that with the dude who he finds dead in the woods. It's like I looked in the mirror and it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't me, which is already creepy on its own.
Yeah.
That's already creepy on its own. The thing is that a lot of the testimonials in that movie that like the townsfolk give are really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
They're really fucking creepy. And it's an eerie movie.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is watch the Mothman Prophecies. It's not the best movie you've ever seen. However, there's a lot of shit that it does that you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
There's no other movie that'll do it. So kudos to them for that. Shouts out to them.
Many kudos.
I'll watch it. The Chicago one.
Yeah, go to the Chicago. Let's do the Chicago Mothman. Let's do it.
Do what?
Chicago Mothman Prophecies,
Starring
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd.
starring Dan Aykroyd. Yeah.
Oh, you don't fuck with the Mothman. Mothman is real.
We're on a mission from the Mothman. He's like a big math.
Big Mac. Now he's from Boston. Now it's the Boston Mothman, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. The Boston Mothman.
You know, we should shut the fuck. We're making fun of Tez's. We're making fun of Tez's hometown.
I'm making fun of Boston now. Why do you think I fucking moved off of it?
Man, you make fun of white people, ain't me.
Yes, indeed.
Don't sound like that.
In fucking.
In some early Kanye West albums, I can kind of detect a little bit of that Chicago accent. So.
Because Kanye West is a white man.
Well, no, I think there's certain cases where like the shit kind of blends in with one another.
Right.
You know, even though like obviously like a lot of accents are different and shit, but there's like little things. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the
Not at all.
wait, does Drake say a boot?
Fuck no.
I wonder if he does.
That's like certain
He probably
places in
do.
Canada where that accent is a bit heavier.
Or Suri.
He tried to sound Jamaican a little when he talked. He got a little Caribbean twang with his speech.
I think that's like a Vancouver thing and not like a Toronto
He
thing.
be like, man, them.
I thought it was a Toronto thing.
I think you got it backwards. I feel like Toronto's more culturally similar to us
Probably.
in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't give a shit. I've only been to Canada when I was a tiny little bitch, baby.
What's your favorite urban legend of all time?
My favorite urban legend of all time. Do
I
aliens
don't have
count?
one.
Yes.
Aliens count as urban legends?
It depends. Alien sightings, maybe.
Alien site. I mean, like there's the whole like Skinwalker Ranch.
That one's sick.
Yeah, like the people claiming that various mysterious happenings, like they would find their cow dead and like completely like all of its like internal organs taken out like with complete surgical precision, but in the middle of the fucking field. It's like, what the fuck happened here? Like, an animal didn't do this. Coyotes didn't do this. It had to be aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So, shit like that. That's what I sort of gravitate towards.
Aliens are back in a big way.
Yeah,
I'm
like
glad.
Elvis. Elvis was an alien, right?
Yeah, anybody who was talented was an alien.
Either Elvis was an alien or some shit, because I refuse to believe that Elvis died
Elvis was a pedophile.
when he did. Well, that's not an urban legend. That's just reality.
How old was
She was like
lady?
14.
I thought
Priscilla.
she was 12.
Lady.
Damn.
You don't know her fucking name.
No, I don't.
That is the co-star of the Naked Gun trilogy, you fucking heartless bastard.
Never seen it.
Oh, we have sights to show you. But no, I always liked that line in like Men in Black, where it's like, oh, Elvis didn't die, he just went home. And Tommy Lee Jones fucking rocking back and forth listening to whatever the fuck on the radio in the car, like upside down. Whatever the shit.
That's cute.
Men in Black, I mean, that's an urban legend, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Just
I
fucking
guess. I feel like that shit real.
creepy government suits from an unidentifiable agency showing up to cover up some shit.
Yeah, there's really good ones about that, like where after somebody identifies a UFO, they are approached by either one or more than one weird-looking gentlemen.
Yeah,
dressed in suits and ties,
with sunglasses on.
It was
looking dope as fuck.
Not always with sunglasses on.
Well, okay, well,
sometimes looking really fucked up and strange, like bald, albino-y looking. With like,
well, they need the biggest freaks
like,
to sign up for their fucking weirdo agency.
Yeah, with what looks like lipstick on their mouths and shit like that.
Lipstick.
Yeah, like weird looking faces. And apparently these people question them and tell them to shut the fuck up and not talk about it.
Yeah, you didn't see what you saw. If you
didn't see
say
what you
anything
saw.
about what you saw, then don't.
Yeah, I want some more Men in Black.
Yeah,
I want
It's
some more
real.
of that.
like the movies or
Both.
both.
I want Men in Black to come visit me. That'd be sick.
You wouldn't remember.
I mean, yeah, if the movies are true,
Yeah, if they literally have a neuralizer.
that'd be sick. That'd actually be really cool. I'd want one.
I just want Tommy
fuck,
Lee
wait,
Jones
I
to be in
did!
shit. What?
So when I was young, there was, I think, Men in Black 2 or Men in Black 1 was coming out.
Okay.
And I remember at either Burger King or McDonald's or something,
Burger
they had
King.
like a little neuralizer that you
Okay.
could like buy as like part of your Happy Meal and shit.
Right.
So I made my
Buy?
mom buy me like a little fake toy plastic neuralizer. And
Hell
I had
yeah.
that shit.
Hell yeah.
It got lost at some point. I don't have it anymore.
I loved all of those fucking stupid Burger King, McDonald's tie-in movie toys.
Oh God, yeah, they were really good around my when I was
Yeah,
young,
like
they were great.
they would give you a straight up Hot Wheels car and like your fucking Happy Meal.
Yeah, it was sick.
Like die cast metal. Like you don't see that shit anymore.
No.
You just don't.
The best one was the Pokemon movies when those came out. You get a Pokeball with the fucking like holographic.
We were
like,
talking about the
tome
Pokemon
inside
movies
of
the
it
other
and
day,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw the Pokemon movie, the first one,
The first one.
oh my God, when Ash turns to stone,
Yeah, we were talking about that
Yeah.
shit.
I fucking cried.
It's like, why the fuck do you have to kill this child,
Yeah.
even temporarily?
I cried my ass off in that. I was like, oh.
That's when I knew
no.
anime was the shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good introduction too. Yeah. And like he's just, like sitting there crying, and their tears bring him back to life and shit. It's so gay. It's so gay.
Yeah.
No, I'm sitting there going,
Get off
like,
me, little nigga.
well, yeah.
My bad.
It's like if you died and your cat brought you back to life
Yeah, Squirtle,
by taking a
Squirtle.
piss on you.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was watching an episode of Pokemon once. It was an episode I think where Pikachu there's a Bulbasaur involved,
Right.
and
That's
it was
the
like
first-
Pikachu, and it was the funniest shit because I was watching it really high with my friends,
Right.
and it was like there was a whole scene where it's like Booka Boo, and it's like Bulbasaur, and it was just
Yeah,
like
they was
going back
talking
and
to each
forth
other.
and shit.
I ain't never watched Pokemon High.
And it was like 5 minutes long, and we were like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
I ain't never watched Pokemon High. I'm finna do that. And you watched
And I was just
Johto?
crying.
That's the Johto. Was Misty on it?
Missy was on it. Yeah,
Yeah, I ain't never watched that Pokemon.
I never watched any other Pokemons besides the fucking Indigo series or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, you
now.
wild?
The originals.
You
Yeah.
wild?
Do you think Michael Jackson ever watched Pokemon?
Oh my god, that's a good question. Probably.
Hell
'Cause
yeah,
he
they
was
loved
into
him. in
all
Japan.
kinds of kiddie shit.
Yeah, it's in a kitty shit. That.
He was into kiddie shit.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean,
Like-
when your childhood was stripped from you, and all you had to do was wake up, get your ass whooped, and dance.
yeah, no, he got fucked up.
Joe Jackson was beating their ass.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Hey, look, and coming from Chicago, I also have done. I shouldn't say this, but I have done plenty of crimes in Gary, Indiana. Where that was
talked
that's
about
a
it,
playland.
Neil. You're
That was a playland for us because the law was not showing up for at least 20, 30 minutes. You could get in, get out,
So
get across the
fucking
border.
hell.
We back across the border by the time they even knew it.
Damn. How far away is that from Chicago?
Like 30 minutes.
Oh damn, it's not that even that far.
And then it's
Get
closer
back
to me
across
because
the
I'm
border,
from
you're dealing with
Wyoming.
the FBI at that point.
Because in high school, I lived in Calumet City, and that's right next to the border of the state line. We used to run like get fireworks and shit in Indiana because it's illegal. Like we do like steal from stores in Indiana, then run across state line.
yeah.
Like,
So
Shout out to Cal City.
I lived on the very west coast of
Yeah.
California, like in the middle of California, and so like in California is a big fucking state.
Right.
Big as hell.
Ginormous state, yeah. So going across the states for me was a big deal, you know. But recently, I went up to Cape Cod with my boyfriend, and we went through 5 fucking states. We went through Connecticut, we went through Rhode Island. I think we dipped into New Hampshire really fast, and then we went to Massachusetts, and so we got through Rhode Island in like 50 minutes. But like
hell yeah, you get through Connecticut like 2.5, 3 hours.
yeah, but it's like I kind of love how I don't know. I love the convenience of that. Yeah, you can just go across state lines. Fuck it. They're not gonna talk. They're not gonna talk to each other. You know. Yeah, you can get away with anything.
I mean, if you do a murder, then you kind of messing it up because then you gonna get federal charges and stuff like that.
But they didn't always do that. I found out like states didn't used to talk to each other about murders and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Michael Jackson's lucky he never had to deal with the FBI, did he?
Michael
That was
Jackson?
definitely
Michael Jackson.
as a black entertainer in the fucking 70s.
I mean, as in terms of the investigations
Oh,
into
I'm about to
his
say.
Yeah.
Probably did.
alleged sexual misconduct
they
with
probably
children.
did. They probably looking up with the kids, with the drugs, with the doctors, what's going with the
It's
money.
like I never knew about them getting involved. Like, because I always figured it was just he was in Cali at that point. Was he? Was this
Yeah.
all just wherever?
Tez, so let me gather. Tez, what do you think? What do you think of that whole thing? Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Verdict
About what?
about his.
Do you think he did it?
The allegations.
Did what?
Do you think he fucked on those kids?
I don't think he fucked on them. No,
Okay.
I don't think he fucked on them. No.
All right.
I feel like he was just a grown ass kid.
Even if he didn't,
Mm-hmm. It's still fucking
having
weird.
sleepovers with like small kids and shit like that, unsupervised and shit like that.
And allegedly giving them wine
Yeah.
of your own admission. Shit,
your
we
heart
just-
of hearts.
He probably was smoking too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's probably like a big ass, like bad influence. Like you know, a big
Michael,
ass-
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was just doing what we are now, just hanging out with the boys.
Yeah.
And the monkey, You don't think that monkey? You don't think he was high as hell with the monkey too?
The monkey.
So I
The
know.
main reason I don't think he was touching on him because I feel like he was high as fuck most of the time.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
no,
just
yeah,
off of the fucking prescription drugs, probably.
What they was shooting him up with.
I always got the impression that Michael Jackson was almost asexual, but like that might have been a part of the whole thing. However,
we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Tez and I posit that he was definitely getting it in with who, like, I don't,
in your heart of hearts, Tez,
He was picking up groupies.
you know, like even if he didn't fuck him, you know it was gross. You know it was not.
I
Cool.
don't know if it was gross.
Yeah. However, I will say
It's gross. Giving kids substances is pretty fucking gross.
No, it's not
Yeah.
to me.
And like allegedly,
Having,
if he did have tasteful nudes of children, there's
No, it's
no such fucking
as
thing.
Tasteful nudes.
No such fucking
if it was
thing. That's for
nudes,
sure.
then
And yeah, that's
wrong.
another
He ain't supposed
strike.
to have wrote nudes, but
Another big
It's
fucking
like,
strike.
R. Kelly, man, we knew what that nigga was doing. Like
Yeah.
Right.
when I came in, like I'm
Modern
from Chicago.
legend R. Kelly.
I'm from Chicago, right? So we knew, like, all right, if you tell me when I'm like, I'm born in 94, you tell me in like 95, no, let's say 97, 98, that this man tried to fly this 15-year-old girl. I'm like maybe 3-4 at the time. I'm going to think, like, what's wrong with that nigga? He tried to fly a 15-year-old girl to another country to marry her in order to have sex with that bitch. Then he tried to come back with shorty, like, yeah, we married.
That much
like,
is
that shit was
clear
gonna be
to
normal.
a child.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all right.
It should be clear to every fucking other person
That
on
man
Earth.
is suspect. So I'm like, but everybody still listen and enjoy his music. So I'm like, I guess that's when we separate art from. That's when I first learned to separate art from the person. Because I'm like, hey, if we could all come to the conclusion that he just did some fuck shit and we just go enjoy the music.
Oh,
hey,
man.
I guess we just go. Like, we know that nigga fucked up in the head, and we just gonna keep pushing until something happens.
Listen, Michael Jackson was extremely fucking
Oh yeah,
talented.
and he was definitely messed up in the head.
And I mean, like
man.
Billie Jean and shit. Like those are fucking perfect songs, you know?
Right, yeah.
I mean, like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is a fucking perfect song.
Yeah.
Like note for note.
Yeah.
Like there's no I can't think of a single flaw.
Like if a song was made
Yeah.
by like a fucking perfect song crafting robot in a lab.
Yeah, you couldn't
know.
fucking do as good as that. I mean, like, no, I mean, like,
They're really good fucking like in terms of pop songs. Like the kind of shit that you don't really pay, like the top 40 shit. Like that's like fucking like if there was an algorithmically perfect song, then like a lot of those would count.
yeah. However, I don't know, like something about Michael Jackson's
know.
whole.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I do love that Martin Bashir documentary.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? The Martin Bashir. That's the one
Nah.
that fucking destroyed him.
Yeah.
It's the one where it's like, it's beautiful. It's the one where basically he hangs out with Michael Jackson for like probably like 5 or 6 days.
Right.
Hangs out in
Oh
Neverland.
god, I've seen clips
does
of I've
go-karts.
seen clips from that.
There's a really amazing scene.
That's the one where literally like no one knew about like Neverland before that. And like once they saw that it was like, oh, he's got like fucking carnival rides and like dumb shit going on.
Yeah. And that's the one where the South Park made fun of. It's
Yeah.
ignorant. You're being ignorant.
You're just being ignorant.
Yeah, no, but like that fucking documentary is kind of amazing because it's watching somebody fucking crucify themselves.
What blissfully unaware was the thing.
Yeah, but also there's this amazing scene that I always think about where he goes into this like, you know, one of those Las Vegas like amazing antique shops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where they have all this expensive fucking shit, like vases that you don't need, chandelier, like all these like amazing paintings and shit. Everything's like marked up.
China.
Everything's marked the fuck up. And Michael Jackson's going through the whole thing. It's like, oh yeah, I bought the whole store. And he keeps going through it, but he keeps going through it at the same time. He's like, oh, yoo-hoo, I want this one too. I want this one too, and this one, and this one, this one. And I'm
He
just
just
sitting
buys
there,
Las Vegas.
I'm just sitting there going like, you know, Michael Jackson's probably drowning in fucking money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
no
he probably
doubt.
has,
No
yeah.
doubt. There's no way that fucking whatever deal here is happening, it's not going through.
Right.
You know, he's gonna go
Right.
back on it. Like, it just felt like all show.
Like reality TV.
I don't know. That nigga had so much money that probably wasn't nothing. That was a blink to him. Cause you gotta think about it. If you are in talks to buy Sony, you got buku bread.
But you think about the vibe, and you think about like you literally just talks or whatever. Like you could fucking, I mean, he bought the fucking Beatles catalog, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
You know, like that could have been a spur of the moment decision. It just like could have gone either way, whether he went back on it because he probably just was that fucked up and stoned. You know, like most of the time. Like that's sort of like what I feel like you were getting at was like just that aura of flippancy.
Yeah.
That was, you know.
There's something weird. I don't know. Like I really, and that's the thing that everybody rushes to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, he had a fucked up childhood. He had this happen to him. He had that happen to him, and all
Which
that kind
is
of shit.
true,
And it's
but
true.
that doesn't speak to what was a very formative set of years, which was like his adolescence and his early adulthood and shit, where like that kind of stuff wasn't in the forefront.
Yeah.
You know, when everyone thought he was just like everyone else.
Right. And I mean, like, you
Did
know,
they think he was like everybody else as a childhood star?
You know
Or
what?
did they
Like
think he was one of the
in terms of like relative to other celebrities and musicians.
Who has ever reached fame levels like that nigga?
I'm
Other
thinking
than
about like
Jesus.
around that similar time
Other
was
than
like
Jesus.
the Osmond family and shit. you
Even
know?
Mike was bigger than those.
Well, of course, Mike was bigger than them, and he had more.
I bet
staying power.
Ozzy Osbourne go to any hood. They go.
But
look
in
at that
terms-
nigga
in
like, what
terms
this
of,
weird
like,
ass old
like
white
the
nigga
come
do?
up.
If Mike Jackson went to any hood, they go know who that is. He
In
go
ter-
to any
in terms of
suburb,
the
they
come
go know
up.
who that is.
maybe Elvis.
Oh my goodness.
as
Oh
far
my
as, like, one
goodness.
person goes.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh, touchdown.
Well, no, I mean, like you can't like it's hard to make comparisons to the
He was
fucking
even
guy.
bigger than Elvis. Elvis was
really
a fraud
hard
to
to
us.
make-
Elvis couldn't go to no hood. We gonna laugh at that nigga like, man, you
True.
stole that shit from Chuck Berry, though, man. Get off, man.
You got,
No,
but the
Michael
thing
Jackson
about
had-
like the time frames were like not exactly the same for them either. I'm thinking like the reason I brought up the Osmonds was because the Osmonds were coming up around the same time. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the only reason I made the comparison.
I about to say,
Like
that
I
was
know
his
they
hog.
did not
I was-
anywhere like they were huge. They were on TV and shit, but they did not hit anywhere near that same amount of status.
No.
Anywhere near. You know,
You gotta think about the people around Colin and the Yes Man say, yeah, that's cool.
Well,
They
Michael
just still
Jackson
nobody.
had. So, I mean, his first, with the Jackson 5 when he was like, what, 5, 6 years old?
right?
Something like that. And, I mean, I Want You Back is a fucking perfect song.
Yeah.
ABC sounds modern. Sounds like it could have been made today. But like, anyways, there's a long dip around after Ben.
Mm-hmm.
You know that song, and then there's like a long kind of pause.
Ben is
about
a
10
song
years.
about a rat.
Yeah, it is a song about a rat based on a movie that I've never seen,
Based on a movie that I've seen. Okay,
or
so,
made for a movie that I've never seen.
So Ben was made for a movie which was a sequel to Willard, which is a
Oh, it
movie.
was?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Willard is a movie about this fucking like complete social outcast who becomes friends with rats, and one of them is named Ben, and Michael Jackson made a song about Ben.
Aw. Yeah, but it's a very cute little song.
Which is
And-
very bizarre because it's a song for a horror film.
Yeah, it is. But the thing about Michael Jackson is that he had a comeback. That that Off the Wall was his fucking comeback.
Which is wild to me that was his comeback.
Yeah.
That seems like the beginning,
Probably
you know?
22, 23.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. But he was like, but anyways, what a fucking comeback though.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the same with Kanye West. Kanye West is kind of probably the only like current day analog to that. Besides like maybe like Taylor Swift or something like
Drake.
that. Drake. I don't know. Drake isn't as like Drake's extraordinarily famous, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but like
It's so hard to make these comparisons.
Kanye
because
West
of
had an amazing
the different
like
audiences.
Kanye
involved.
West had an amazing like debut,
Yeah.
and then he had
Beyonce.
a couple follow-up albums. Beyonce is a weird example because Beyonce started out with Destiny's Child. They had a bunch of hits and
Right.
shit.
Same as Jackson 5.
But Beyonce's albums, but she was like older. She was like what, like 16, 17, 18?
15, 16.
I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe something like that.
15, 16.
But around when she was,
Jay-Z found a young.
well, I don't know if Jay-Z married her until she was like 30.
No. He waited. He made sure to wait. He waited.
well, that's the thing now with Beyonce
Made
fans is that
sure
they
to
go
wait.
back to her lyrics from when she was younger, and they like blame all of like the songs that are about
They
man
say he
problems.
groomed her. They say he groomed
Yeah,
her.
they blame all of that shit on Jay-Z. It's like that Jay-Z was fucking putting her through it.
Yeah.
You know?
But Beyonce doesn't have a streak of albums track for track that even compares to like Kanye or like somebody like
I don't
Michael
know.
Jackson and shit.
I don't know because they the only
That's
ones.
tough.
They the only ones with the most Grammys is her, Mike, and Kanye. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't use the Grammys as any kind of barometer for anything. I don't know.
But like, you know, if we're talking about popularity, it's
Oh god,
hard
no,
to
she was extremely popular.
hard to discount that
But
shit.
but what I'm trying to say is her rise to being like the most famous fucking woman in the whole world
Right.
was kind of a long one. It was kind of
Yeah.
it was a little by little thing. She was already really famous after Destiny's Child. I already knew who Beyonce was after, like, you know, of course, Got Me Looking So Crazy Right Now. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. But like, she got more and more and more and more famous as she went along, and now she's like, you know, the biggest star in the world. Kanye West came out the gate with a really, really good album. He followed up with an even better album. He followed that up with an album that a lot of people argue is better, but I argue is not as good, but still really good.
Yeah, people really love to bring
Yeah.
up Graduation.
And then the funny thing about this, it was the Taylor Swift moment was over Beyonce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Beyonce had the best track, best music video.
I
of all
will.
time.
Here's a myth for your asses. I will argue that Kanye West ruined Taylor Swift.
Hell no.
No.
I made that bitch famous.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
made
he
that
made
bitch
her
famous.
more generic. Like she strived. She like took that shit as a chip on her shoulder. She was like, "Fuck this motherfucker! I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm going to become the most famous fucking bitch on the planet."
I fuck
and
with
she
Taylor Swift.
did.
She's
and
already on that trajectory.
but she I don't know.
Seen her twerking at the VMAs?
I want to say there is a stark fucking contrast
I
between
need
like
that.
her pre-Kanye blowout, know,
Right.
discography and her style and the shit that came later.
Have you
because she
ever-
seemed like she watered herself way the fuck down.
Here's a Taylor Swift urban legend.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the 4chan posts that are attributed to Taylor Swift?
No.
You in them chat rooms
in
looking
what
at feet.
regard?
Look it up.
Like she's alt right.
No, she.
Oh no, like the ones where she was at like some Dayglow party and she was wearing like
No.
fucking Nazi shit.
No. Way before. So right
Before that?
Yeah, before
That's
this.
that's going back. That's
Going
going
way
so
back.
the fuck far back.
Yeah, she basically posted and said like, "Hi B," and
That's not real. There's no way she went
Right
on
on.
4chan. There's no way that Taylor Swift went on 4chan. You've got to be fucking with me right now. This isn't real.
it's an urban legend.
She's the queen of B, now and forever, if that's real. Get the fuck out of here. Holy shit.
Get off me.
All right, Coulter just handed me his phone, showing me this thread. Oh, God, no way. No way.
I told you.
This is fucked up.
It may or may not be
Taylor
true.
Swift is a Nazi. Now and forever confirmed.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Shout out to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift and Kanye would be great friends.
They probably are making
Yeah.
money laughing behind the scenes. You know how it be.
Making money for the Fourth Reich.
They be like, we got them niggas.
Yeah. That
They think we
that whole
beefing.
Taylor Swift is a snake fucking discourse on Twitter that Kanye got Kim wrapped up in. Remember that shit?
That's what I'm
like,
saying. They probably all cool.
like, oh, I like Taylor Swift totally gave her permission to fucking, be mentioned and famous.
I think Nicki Minaj and Cardi B cool, low key.
Mm-hmm.
Are they not?
Hell no.
I mean, I would guess that they wouldn't be, but like,
That's an urban
I've
legend.
never actually seen any evidence to suggest that they wouldn't be friendly,
They just said
apart from just occupying the same niche.
Offset supposedly told her husband that he was getting into female business, getting between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. So they was posted up waiting for Offset, but Offset was like on a private jet to Colorado or something.
God damn.
So
Coulter's really excited about Taylor Swift being
allegedly,
unfortunate.
Taylor Swift says, "Sup B, do you like Scottish fold kittens?" And the only reply was, "Tits or get the fuck out."
Oh man.
And then the thread 404.
Oh my
So-
fucking god.
Anyways, big if true, huge if true, massive if true.
Coulter's going full 4chan now.
Yeah,
Big if true, you fucking.
I love it. Is that a 4chan term? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's a Twitter term.
Like so many memes came from there. It's unreal. 4chan is a goddamn like bed of myths and legends of its own.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
I mean, the amount of people who've threatened to kill themselves, who people try to like check up.
the
on
amount of
later.
people who threaten to kill themselves, the amount of people who have become like some sort of weird internet famous because like they basically got themselves trolled into oblivion. Chris Chan, Jesse Slaughter, like there's a very long list at this point. Taylor Swift being on it is fantastic if true.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah. See, urban legends, man, they're magical.
they are magical.
They're magical shit.
They really are.
No, speaking to just to get back to Michael Jackson though, and Kanye. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seems like if you want to get that fucking big, longevity is the key.
That's yeah.
It's like you got to make good shit.
I feel like Michael Jackson
Consistently.
almost patented that fucking model of
Yeah, him and Prince a little bit. But
him, Prince,
eventually fell off.
and Madonna, because Madonna.
Yeah,
was
Although
sort of starting to do the same, just like sort of adapting
That's
to the
an urban legend.
times.
oh,
Yeah,
was
Madonna?
Yeah.
Madonna and what?
Boy, the streets, the hoods of New York tell the tale of Madonna in the 80s. The amount of dick she has taken and took in these streets of New York. Shorty was a true freak. Talk about like a virgin. She was out here.
Oh yes, sir.
I don't even know if that's an urban legend. I think she.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she was out here. Shorty was
There's
really
a scene that Quentin Tarantino wrote about this very subject.
Yeah,
She got the what's her name? What's the Nancy Reagan type?
Oh
urban
yeah,
legend.
yeah. Superhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madonna never made a great album though. As far as
Never a great album.
I'm
but
not familiar with her music.
She almost always came out with one great banger single.
yeah,
Per.
always consistently for a long time.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was getting at, was like, having at least one good fucking single per album that an artist can sort of, change
If you
with
get
the
a number
times.
one, you could just eat off that number one for the rest of your life.
Let's conclude about urban legends. So, urban legends verdict.
Urban legends are pretty tight.
They're pretty fucking sick. I actually like them. No, I think that they're cool even if they're not true.
Yeah.
I think they say something about the people who kind of spread them and propagate them. I like the fact that they're local.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking that the internet, here's a good topic to end on.
Mm-hmm, sure.
The internet has kind of killed urban legends, but also
Kind of.
brought them back to life. Because,
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird, like,
There are internet
Florida
specific. There are internet specific urban legends
Yeah.
now, like creepypastas, like the Slender Man,
yeah.
like
Florida man.
Red rooms.
Florida Man.
Red rooms are a good example. People say, like, in the dark web, you can watch somebody be tortured to death.
Right,
Hostile.
Talking about them back rooms.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
back
the
rooms
back
are
rooms are
different.
fun. The back rooms are fun, but that's a creepypasta. That's not. Yeah.
What do you mean, being in them or watching it?
No.
Well, the back rooms is just like
yeah.
like an alternate like dimension type thing.
Some guy who played video games too much was like, you
Was
clip
like,
through
what-
the fucking floor.
What if you fall through the floor and you're in a hallway you can never leave?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Shit
What is
like
those
that.
things? What's come on.
But it's a great idea because
But
it's
red
so-
red rooms are like the stories about like the dark web, where like there are literal websites where people just go to watch people get tortured.
Do you watch on TikTok? It was this guy saying he was from the future. Like he would go to places.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh god.
One of my favorites is doesn't even have anything to do with urban legends,
Right.
but this was my favorite meme I've ever like. This might be my favorite meme ever.
Okay.
The TikTok Grimace shake meme.
Oh, when people die.
Yeah. So
Fucking get
when I was-
real. Are you shitting me right
when
now?
I was a kid, I had a pretty weird. I was in horror movies and shit, and I would get in such fucking massive trouble, for just drawing like a spooky, scary ghost or something.
drawing
right?
a ghost, right?
Yeah. Or drawing like a picture of Jason Voorhees, or
Or
something
drawing
like that.
drawing a pack of wolves, fucking ripping
I would-
children apart.
I would never go that gory because I was smarter than that. But, I'll get in big fucking trouble for shit like that. However, I see these fucking kids, and they're like, 13, 14 years old, where it's like, I'm going to drink the Grimace shake. And all of a sudden, they're tied up and bloodied and bashed, like to a fucking tree and shit. And I'm just like sitting there going like, yes! Fuck yeah, Gen Z. I love them. They're so cool.
Insofar as them being like having a modicum of creativity.
Yeah.
Like having just, a base level of, I have a cell phone. Let me film myself doing something fucking crazy.
And I saw like parents doing with their fucking toddlers where they would just, and
Yeah, dousing
Yeah.
like they're in a puddle of a fucking Grimace shake.
Oh.
Like covered in
Yeah, but some of them went really hard
Purple.
with it. They're like fucking like bloodied and bashed against
like hanging from a bridge. Did you see
Yeah.
the one where the guy's hanging from a bridge?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, like it's fucking crazy. Like that.
And
Yeah,
some of them were a little extreme like that, but like never in so much of a way where it seemed like anyone was ever in danger.
no,
Just presenting it that way.
but just the fact of it, the
Yeah.
fact that they went that dark with it,
Yeah.
makes me feel really warm inside. That makes you feel really happy. It just makes you feel like it's like, oh fuck yeah, creativity is back, baby. Like, okay, a really good example. I was looking at these like Twitter horror artists,
Yeah.
like these people who draw like very horrific photos and stuff like that, and then you go to their fucking profile, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm 14, starting high school.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sitting there going like, it's like, okay, that kid must be drawing in
they're
class.
drawing this Junji Ito fucking like nightmare shit.
And I'm just sitting there going like, it's like, okay, you know what happened? A fucking teacher did what they were supposed to do, and they saw that, and they saw fucking talent, and they went, I'm going to encourage that. I'm not going to like assume the worst fucking case scenario,
right?
And bring the parents in and tell them that they're going to be a fucking Columbine kid or something.
Yeah,
that's fucking no. Like that's what used to happen. You know,
right?
And I think that that's awesome. I think that's fucking sick, and I'm happy. And, it makes me feel good inside.
Coulter is happy, and he feels good inside. And with that, I think that about does it for our episode this evening. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're listening to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at yuk.time, on X/Twitter at yukoprime. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next week. Ciao.